Hi guys, my name is Abhilasha and of course I'm your favorite VRC mentor on Unacademy. Today I will be talking about fact inference and judgment in this session, and I will help you understand the concepts of fact inference and judgment, and also take you through a few practice questions so that you can understand this concept and you can use it to solve your questions. So without wasting any more time, let us get started and let us talk about facts, inferences, and judgment. Now, this is a question type that has happened that was very popular in CAT for a very long time. Of course, over the last 5 years, with CAT changing its pattern, all question types have just completely exited the format of CAT, and CAT just tests you on reading comprehension and para based questions such as para jumbles, odd ones out, and para summary. However, that does not really matter because there are so many other exams also which test you on different types of questions, and fact, inference, and judgment and their concept by itself is so important for us because it helps you understand and solve not just your fact, inference, judgment questions but also other questions also. And that is why we pay such a lot of attention to fact, inference, and judgment. So here is a session where we will talk about fact, inference, and judgment, and we'll try and make sure that you can understand this very well. All right, so before I begin, let me do a quick round of introduction so you also know who I am and a little bit about myself. So my name is Abhilasha, of course, and I've been teaching for the last 21 years. I have cracked CAT with a 99.99 percentile in VRC 9 times. I have co-authored a book called Quantitative Aptitude and Reasoning, which is published by Cengage. And of course, I've written the reasoning part. I have nothing to do with quantitative aptitude at all. I've taught with Time, Career Launcher, PT, CP, and Legal Sapiens. That's where I am currently. I've been on Unacademy for the last 2.5 years, and it's been an exciting journey. My last year's results were amazing. Some of my students have done, a lot of my students have done really well, and I feel extremely proud of them. And I'm hoping that this year also in 2021 we will have amazing results, and that anyone who joins me for CAT 22 will also uh, aspire to a Blackie call and a Blackie final selection. I hope you know what is a Blackie call or a Blackie final selection. If you haven't yet followed me on Unacademy, guys, all you need to do is find me by my name, that's Abhilasha Swaroop, or you can find me by my Unacademy handle, that's Abhilasha_S. If you haven't yet enrolled on Unacademy, then or you haven't downloaded our Unacademy Plus Learners app, then guys, all you need to do is download the Plus Learners app and use my enrollment code, that is AbhiCat Live. So use this to enroll and to unlock all your free classes. Guys, every day at 11 a.m. I do a free class for CAT where alternate days I discuss vocabulary and alternate days I discuss other important topics for CAT such as para jumble, such as para summary, such as grammar, such as fill in the blanks, and such like questions that are important for your CAT preparation and also for your OMET preparation. So that's a little bit about me, guys. And now let us just get immersed in fact, inference, and judgment, and let's learn a lot more about that topic. Okay, let's get started. So what is a fact? What is an inference? What is a judgment? Let's understand each one of these one by one. So I remember very clearly it was in the year 2000 that the first time we saw this question called fact, inference, and judgment, and there were 4 sentences, and you had to identify which one is a fact, which was a judgment, which one was an inference. And at that time, nobody knew what this question was all about, and so it was more of a guessing game for all of us than anything else. But now that we know better, we do understand what is a fact, what is an inference, what is a judgment, and we can take it forward like that. So, what is a fact? Let us understand that. So, a fact is anything which deals with pieces of information that one has seen, heard, or read, and which are known matters of direct observation or existing reality. So any information that you see, that you hear, or that you read, and which is a matter of direct observation, that means you have seen or it is an existing reality. That is a fact. A fact is an assertive statement that describes something which can be verified by observation, measurement, calculation, or otherwise. Now, this is a very important uh, concept about facts. So what is a fact? A fact is any piece of information that you have seen, heard or read, which you can see in front of your eyes, which is an existing reality, or it is an assertive statement that describes something that you can verify. Now you can verify it by observing it, you can verify it by measuring something, calculating something, or in some manner or the other. So what is a fact? So fact is anything, any statement that can be verified. Now this verification test, boys and girls, is a very important piece of information about a fact. So I will write this down here, that number one, it is anything that is verifiable. That's one of the most important checks of something being a fact. That if something is a fact, then you must remember that it will always be verifiable. There is no other way that a fact can be checked or tested or found out, except for the fact that it is going to be an assertive statement that will be verifiable. So that's your most important thing, that a fact is always verifiable. Anything that's a universal truth, right? That's what statement 1 said. Anything that's a universal truth is also a fact. So for example, the sun rises in the east. Now that's a universal truth, right? So therefore that's also going to be a fact. Also, any quotation that we say, okay, somebody said this, somebody said that. Now those are also facts, guys. So quotations, so according to the Bible, something, okay, these are also facts, because again they can be verified. So quotations directly, if you see a quotation, you know it is going to be a fact. If you see a universal truth, you know it is going to be a fact. There is no if and but about it. So just go away and do it. And number 3, if it is verifiable, then also you know for sure that it is going to be a fact. So this, my boys and girls, is our first check of whether something is a fact or not. Now, so like I said, a fact is something open to verification or discovery. It does not depend upon the personal opinion or reasoning of the author. So the writer or whoever has written that statement, he does not need to give you his reasoning. Whatever is his personal opinion, that is not really something that is a fact. So anything that's subjective, now please understand, anything that is subjective cannot be a fact. Okay. For example, now look at this. The boy is wearing a blue t-shirt. Now the boy is wearing a blue t-shirt is something that can be seen, and it is also, it can be verified by the speaker, or it can be verified by other. So any such experience, anything that you can see with your eyes, or you can check, or you can verify in some way, that is always going to be a fact. For example, I am wearing an Unacademy t-shirt. Now I'm sure you can see the logo here, and therefore this is a fact, right? I am an intelligent person. Now this is something that you could check again, because you could run an IQ test for me. So that could also be a fact. I am beautiful. Now this is a matter of opinion. Some of you will say, yes ma'am, you're extremely beautiful. Some of you will say, no ma'am, you're not so beautiful. So in that case, now this, because I am beautiful, now because it is subjective, therefore it is not going to be a fact. So remember, anything that is subjective is not a fact. Anything that is objective, anything that can be verified, anything that does not depend on personal opinion or the reasoning of the author will be a fact. Okay, so I hope you understood what a fact is going to be. Anything that's open to verification or discovery, or anything that does not depend upon the personal opinion or reasoning of the author, is going to be a fact. All right. Now facts are, of course, like I said, all reported statements. Okay, so all reported statements will be a fact. For example, honesty is the best policy. Now I should have actually put this with a comma. So for example, honesty is the best policy. According to Mr. Sharma, honesty is the best policy. So that is a reported statement, and therefore it will be a fact. Axiom, for example, two parallels never intersect. Now, because it is an axiom, it is proved to be true and therefore it is a fact. Data without opinion. So, if you are given data out of 20 students, 10 students are Indian, 5 are Swedish, and 5 are French. Now, this is a data, therefore a fact. Of course, it's open to verification. And all universal truths also are facts. So like I said, any reported statement, any quotation, in my language, I generally call it a quotation. So any quotation, all axioms, all data without opinion, and all universal truths are always going to be facts. Okay, so that's our first check. What is a fact? Anything like this. Now, all right, now what's an inference? So fact, inference, and judgment. Now, what is an inference? An inference is a conclusion or logical deduction drawn about the unknown on the basis of the known. So, you have some facts. Based on those facts, you draw a conclusion. Draw some conclusion. That conclusion now becomes an inference. So, an inference essentially is a combination of facts and conclusions. The conclusion must of course be derived from the facts. So any set where you have a fact and a conclusion and they've been derived from the same place, from the same facts, so that becomes an inference. Now, an inference is not a simple statement of information or knowledge, nor can it be directly discovered, as it depends on some logical reasoning based on fact. So there has to be X because of Y. So the reason must be there and then the conclusion must be there. Only in such case can it be an inference. So for something to be an inference, there has to be a fact, and then associated with that fact, there must be a conclusion. And then only it becomes an inference. So in that case, then it will become an inference. Now, of course, it can be verified because there are facts that are supporting it. So that is true that an inference may have facts that can be totally verified. But remember that there will be some sort of a reasoning that is given to you. So check that. All right, for example, the boy wears blue t-shirt every day. He likes the color blue. Now, because he's wearing a blue t-shirt every day, that's why we can infer that he likes blue color, right? So the conclusion that we draw regarding the liking of the color is based on the fact that the boy is wearing a blue t-shirt every single day. Now some will say that, hey, this is not really an inference because there may not be a causal this thing. Maybe that his mother is colorblind and she only buys him blue t-shirts, or maybe it's a uniform of a place that he's generally living. But of course, so some may say it could just be a coincidence. But mostly people will support the fact that if he's wearing a blue t-shirt every day, then it's entirely possible that he likes blue. So in that case, now this becomes an inference, okay? So if there is a cause and that leads to some effect, okay, and together these form a statement, then this becomes an inference, okay? So in case of an inference, guys, you must remember that there has to be a cause-effect relationship between the two given statements. If there isn't, then you cannot really have a set. Okay, so inferences are, what are inferences? Number one, they're based on facts. Number one, that's important, they're based on facts. One fact can lead to many inferences. So that's also true, that it may be that one fact will have more than one inferences, and that's entirely possible. It generally has a cause and effect relationship. Yes, inferences are based on cause-effect relationship. A cause-effect relationship set is what we call an inference. So be very cautious about that. Perspective does not change an inference. Just because I feel certain way, therefore something will happen. That's perspective, and that does not change an inference. So guys, you must remember that an inference will not change from person to person. It will remain constant, okay? So that's very important. So that's very, very important. Also, if a fact is changed, then they do not hold true anymore and are invalid. So if the fact changes, then the inference will also change, and therefore you will not be able to hold it. For example, Prajakta attends all lectures, and Prajakta is very regular when it comes to attendance. So Prajakta attends all the lectures. Now this is something that I can verify, and therefore it is a fact. Now Prajakta is very regular when it comes to attendance. So now this is an inference. Why is it an inference? Because I am inferring the fact that she is very regular from the fact that she attends all the lectures. So you understand? So this fact which says Prajakta attends all the lectures leads to the fact that Prajakta is very regular when it comes to attendance. And therefore this first statement becomes the fact, but the second statement now becomes my inference. So Prajakta is very regular when it comes to attendance is what I have inferred from this fact that Prajakta attends all lectures. So this is now my inference statement. Now let's understand what is a judgment also. Okay. So a judgment, guys. Now, judgments are opinions or anticipation of common sense or intention that imply approval or disapproval of a person, action, or a situation. Now, what do I mean by that? What I essentially mean is that when I say, hey, I like this or I like that, uh, I like this person, I like that person, or chocolates are delicious, or this is a terrible situation. So when we express an opinion about something, common sense opinions, when we express any opinion of something, then it is called a judgment. A judgment does resemble inference a lot, but inferences are based on facts and are logically derivable. So you can derive an inference. When I see a fact plus a conclusion, I know it is an inference. But a judgment is more of an opinion on the fact. So if you are given a fact and then you are given an opinion on that, just an opinion, then that, my friends, becomes a judgment. So judgment is not just a simple statement of information or knowledge, nor is it directly verifiable or discoverable, as it depends on personal reasoning and not on logical reasoning. So see the difference between an inference and judgment. So judgment is based on personal reasoning and not on logical reasoning. So logical reasoning based on fact will give you an inference. Personal reasoning based on emotions will give you a judgment. So that's where the difference between the two lies, that the judgment will always be personal or subjective. Okay, you talk nicely to me, therefore I like you. Now this has no logic, no reasoning behind it. It is just a personal thing. So this is now a judgment. Okay, you work for 2 hours, you worked for 2 hours for me, therefore I am paying you 200 rupees. Now this is inference. There is a logic here that you have worked for 2 hours, I am paying you 100 rupees hourly, therefore I am giving you 200 rupees. There is logic to that. So that is an inference. Do you see that? So between a judgment and an inference, the difference is that a judgment is subjective. I like you, so I am giving you 200. I don't like him, so I am going to give him only 150. That's not rational. That has no sound basis. That does not have any sort of logical reasoning. That is very subjective, and therefore it is a judgment. The minute we bring logic and reasoning based on something, then it becomes an inference. So I hope you've understood the difference between a judgment and an inference. So fact plus let's say effect based on that, but with reasoning, is inference. Fact plus opinion based on that is judgment. You understand the difference between the two? And just a simple fact, of course, will be a fact. So that's the difference between a fact and an inference and a judgment. So this is something that is very important for us to understand, that a judgment may have a fact, but a judgment will give you some sort of an opinion about something. And only when there is an opinion is there a judgment. While an inference will give you a fact and will help you draw a conclusion that is logical. And when you have a logical conclusion, that's when you get an inference. So that's the difference. I hope you are understanding this thing. All right. Now, for example, the boy looks good in blue t-shirt. Now, boy looks good in the blue t-shirt. This is your personal opinion. Now, can you really verify if the boy looks good, or if the boy looks handsome, or if the boy looks ugly? We can't. And can you really say someone looks good or someone looks bad? Not at all. You cannot. It is someone's personal opinion. It may be very subjective. His mother may say that, oh, he looks very good. His girlfriend, who's very upset with him, may say he doesn't look good at all. So that's a personal opinion about the boy. So the goodness of the boy, we are saying that he looks good. Can I really define the goodness of the boy through a verification? Can I discover it? No, because opinions can differ, and that is why the boy looks good in the blue t-shirt. There is no reasoning, there is no logic that is universally acceptable. And that is why this one now becomes a judgment. Okay, now it may look like an inference, but it is not really an inference, because you cannot not agree with it, and there is no reasoning to it, and that is why also you cannot say it is an inference. So a judgment is where you will have some sort of a let's say some sort of an opinion. Now the opinion, please also understand that the opinion may be positive, it may be negative. So that's not really this thing that, hey, I like you is a good opinion, is a judgment, and hey, I dislike you is an inference. No, I like you, I dislike you, both are judgments, because both are opinions. So the opinion may be positive, it may be negative, it may be about a person, it may be about a place, it may be about a thing, it may just be about a feeling in my heart. I have a feeling here. That also. So it could be about it. It could be about something that's occurring now. It could be about something that happened in the past. It could be about something that is happening in the future also. So there is just, it's a free world. So you may just have anything like that. So opinion could be based on, any of these. So that's, so you understand that anything that where there is approval or disapproval of a person, place, thing, event, feeling, situation, anything happening in the present or the past or the future time, wherever it is subjective, it's going to be a judgment. Okay, so please remember that. Okay, don't get confused between a judgment and an inference. Now, what is a judgment? Any statement showing approval or disapproval. For example, red tape leads to corruption and distorts a person's character. So this, red tape leads to corruption is a fact, but it distorts a person's character is someone's disapproval, right? So therefore judgment. Does not give you logical reasoning for this. For example, inequitable distribution of all kinds of resources is certainly one of the strongest and most sinister of conflicts. Now, what is the reason behind saying it is the most strongest and most sinister of the conflicts? We don't know. They're not giving you any reasoning. Therefore, it's a judgment. Changes according to the perspective. Something will change from person to person. For example, I hate mathematics. Now, there will be so many of you who are engineers, and you will say, no, I love mathematics. So, it changes according to perspective. It is very subjective, right? So, therefore, something that is subjective will always be a judgment. And also, it is the author's personal opinion. So, when the author gives you his opinion about something, that's going to be a judgment. For example, the midday meal initiative will go a long way towards a better and healthier India. I don't know if it will go a long way or if it won't go a long way. All I know is that the author is saying that, right? And therefore, this is the author's opinion. And that's why it is a judgment. So, any statement that shows approval and disapproval, no reasoning is given. It is subject to change from person to person. And it is the author's personal opinion. So, in all such cases, we say that this is a judgment. Okay, so I hope you are understanding what a judgment will be. All right, now let's look for this. Now let's understand how to solve a question also. Now the first thing you should always do is search for facts. So within the statements, look out, look out for the facts. That's the first thing. Okay. So these are the statements that cannot be changed and therefore are facts. So any statement which has a personality saying something, a historical event, a universal truth, a daily event, these will be facts. So spot the facts. That's the easiest thing to do. Okay, that's the easiest thing to do. So spot your facts first. Once you have spotted the facts, you'll be able to eliminate a couple of options. You'll be able to say, hey, let's eliminate option A because it doesn't have any facts, or it doesn't have, like, it doesn't say that statement B is the fact. So that's the first thing that you do. Now do not strike out any option because there is a possibility that you have marked an inference as a fact. So be very careful of that. Sometimes we mark an inference as a fact because the inference is not an explicit cause-effect relationship, but there is an implied cause-effect relationship. Now that's also very important, that a lot of times inferences may just have an implied relationship. There may not be an explicit cause-effect relationship. So you may not have any cause-effect indicators such as because, or if then, or when then, or therefore, or so, or that's why. So maybe, it doesn't happen like that. But you may just have an inference marked as a fact. So be very careful. Now the second thing that you do, of course, is you look for judgments. So you will check the statements where someone is showing approval or disapproval or judging a situation as good, bad, or something. So first thing we did was we checked for facts. Look for statements where someone is saying something or such like thing, or there's a historical event or a universal truth, etc. Then second, look for judgments. So any statement where someone is saying, hey, this is good, hey, this is bad, hey, you should do this, hey, you should not do that. Somebody is giving you some sort of an advice. That will be your judgment. Then the third will be looking for the inferences, because that's the toughest. Because sometimes, yes, like I said earlier, in an inference you may just have an implied inference, and in that case it will be difficult for you to solve a question. So that's how you should be solving a question. Now let us try and understand a couple of questions. Let's read these and of course let's understand them. So guys, what I'll suggest is you can stop the video here, read the question, and then come back and reopen the video and restart, okay? Because I'm going to continue with my explanation. So let's read this question. Illustration 1 here. The lack of a strong world body that could solve international disputes had contributed to the Second World War, okay? The second one says the next world war will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. Okay. The third statement says the First World War resulted in a huge loss of life and property. So here are my three statements. My first statement says the lack of a strong world body that could solve international disputes had contributed to the Second World War. My second statement says that the next world war will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. And my third statement says that the First World War resulted in a huge loss of life and property. Now, I will start spotting my statements. Remember, when I told you this, I told you that first we will look for facts, then we will look for judgments, and then we will look for inferences. That's going to be my sequence. 1 fact, 2 judgment, and 3 inferences. So now, when I look at this directly, the lack of a strong world body that could solve international disputes had contributed to the Second World War. Now, this either appears to be an opinion to me or appears to be an inference to me. So I'm just going to keep it, I'm going to put a star on this and keep it aside. The next world war will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. Again, it appears to be, will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. Appears to be a judgment to me, but again, I'll put a star on this. And I'll come to the third statement. The First World War resulted in a huge loss of life and property. Now, can I verify this? That did the First World War result in a huge loss of life and property? I can. And therefore, apparently 3 should be my fact. So let me just spot out 3 as a fact. And then I will come back to my other statements and check also. I don't know if this is the correct answer, but hey, I'm just going to take it as it goes. Now, look at my second statement. Let's look at this. This one says the next world war will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. Now, something will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. So here I apparently see a cause and effect relationship, that the next world war will wipe out the world. So World War X is going to wipe out the world. That's what we are saying. Now, so apparently there is a cause effect relationship. So should this be an inference or should this be a judgment? Now let's read it again. It says the next world war will be so destructive. Just a moment, guys. We just had the third world war in my colony. So the next world war will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. Now please pay attention to the phrasing of this. It will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. So the writer is essentially giving you his opinion. He's saying that here is a war that will destroy the entire world. But can this be verified at this point of time? We cannot verify this at this point of time. And it appears to be the writer's opinion about the next world war. And he says it will be so destructive that it will wipe out the world. We don't really know if there is a cause-effect relationship, but we do know that this is the writer's opinion about the next world war. And therefore, ideally, the second statement should be a judgment. Okay. So now I've got two options. I've got a judgment for the second statement, and a fact for the third statement. Now if I look at my options, so I'm looking for J and F. Now if you look at option 1, it is an F and J, so I'll eliminate. 2 is a J and J, so I can eliminate. 3 is a J and F, so I'll put a star on this. 4 is a J and I, so I'll eliminate. And 5 is an IF, which I can eliminate. So apparently I am at 3, which is the correct answer. But let us also check statement 1 and see if it is an inference. So the lack of a strong world body that could solve international disputes had contributed to the Second World War. Now, so I've got a fact that there was a lack of a strong world body that could solve international disputes. Now this is something that is a fact because it can be verified. So I know, okay, so that there was a lack of a strong world body that could solve international disputes. And I can also check if this is true, that this lack is the one thing that contributed to the Second World War. So I can look up the reasons for the Second World War, and I know that yes, this is the reason why the Second World War, or one of the reasons that the Second World War happened. So here is a cause, here is an effect, and here is a rational relationship between the two. It is not that I am saying it, it is not that the author is saying it, is not just that some random person is saying it. It is here we've got a very reasonable, very rational relationship that can be checked out also from your history books, from your books of economy, from your books of the world, about the world. You can verify this, that because there wasn't a strong world body, that is why the Second World War happened. So we can check this out, we can check out our history books and find out if this is true. So here we have a beautiful cause-effect relationship. Here we have got a beautiful cause-effect relationship which is logical. There are no emotions here. Very logical, very, very provable. And therefore, yes guys, this should be an inference. Absolutely correct. So my correct answer therefore should be I, J and F, which means the first statement is an inference, the second one is a judgment, and the third one is a fact. So correct answer 3, and we've got this. Okay. Alright, let's look at our... So of course, here is an explanation also that the second part of statement 1 is an inference about the cause of the Second World War derived from the fact that there was no strong world body. That's what I said, that because there was no strong world body, therefore the Second World War happened. Now, this is an inference. Okay, so here is my inference. Now, so with here I have worked the other way around. So with an inference, I could have easily eliminated options 1, 2 and 4. So you can eliminate, and then you can go to the second statement, which was an opinion about what will happen if there is another world war. So the writer had said that the world will be destroyed if there is another world war. There will be complete destruction or annihilation. Now this cannot be proved, so cannot be inferred also, and therefore it is a judgment. Okay, the second statement. The third statement informs about a fact of the First World War, that there was a huge loss of life and property. So this can be verified, of course, and if because it can be verified, therefore it is a fact. So like I said, I, J, F was the correct answer. Okay, guys, I hope you are understanding this concept and that I am able to help you take this concept to its understanding. All right, let's look at the second example. Again, I will ask you to pause the video and read the question well, and then come back and look at the solution for this. For example, so here is my first statement. The youth do not approve of the current lot of politicians because the newspapers are full of stories about young men and women campaigning against politicians. The second statement says young people should not enter politics because it's a dirty game. And the third statement says only 35% of the youth voted in the last elections. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but the third statement calls to me like very strongly. Very, very, very strongly. Remember when we were talking of facts, we said any statement that gives you data, okay, without opinions, should be a fact. So look at statement 3. Only 35% of the youth population voted in the last election. This is pure data. Now it's definitely verifiable. Of course, we've got election data, so we can prove it. So this is data and this is verifiable. And therefore, this one, boys and girls, should be a fact. Okay, so let me say that this is a fact. I'm going to commit to my answer. I'm going to say that, hey, here is a statement. It's a fact. Now, when I look at my other two statements, I look at statement 1 and I look at statement 2. Now, statement 1 has a because and statement 2 also has a because. And then I'm confused because here are two statements and both of them are using because. That means both of them have a cause-effect relationship. So I know wherever there is a cause-effect relationship, it should be an inference, right? So if 1 has a cause-effect relationship, it should be a inference. If 2 also has a cause-effect relationship, then ideally that will also be an inference. Now guys, very important for you to understand that yes, this is how we check, but within the cause-effect relationship, we have to remember that there must be some logic to it. Or if there is no logic and there is just opinions, pay attention. If there is cause effect plus logic, we are going to end up at inference. But if there is cause effect plus opinion, then we are going to end up at judgment. So that's very important for us. If there is a cause effect relationship and still there is a logical reason to something, there is a logical conclusion from cause to effect, then remember it is going to be an inference. When there is cause effect but there is just an opinion, then that is going to be a judgment. So pay attention to this. So young people should not enter politics because it is a dirty game. Now here are two very interesting statements. One, that politics is a dirty game. Now are you sitting in mud and doing politics? Not really. So saying that politics is a dirty game is the writer's opinion, correct? Also, young people should not enter politics. Hey, young people should not enter politics. Isn't that the writer's opinion too? So here are two opinions very clearly that yes, the writer does say that there is, because politics is a dirty game, so therefore young people should not enter politics. But understand that both the statements show a cause-effect relationship. Yes, but both the statements are also strong opinions about something. These are perspectives. You ask a politician that is it a dirty game? He will say no, it's a passion. It's my game. It's my lifelong this thing, obsession. He will not say it's a dirty game. He will say bring more and more young people into politics because it is exciting, because politics is lovely. So a politician will never say that. So here is a very strong set of two statements which do have a cause-effect relationship, but they're full of opinions. And they're very perspective driven and very subjective. So because they're very, very subjective, therefore clearly they cannot be an inference. Okay, I hope you've understood why this is not an inference. So therefore the second statement is also going to be a judgment. Also, it is going to be a judgment. The third one is a fact, the second one is a judgment. Now let's come to the first statement. The first statement says the youth do not approve of the current lot of politicians. Why they do not approve of the current lot of politicians? Because newspapers are full of stories about young men and women campaigning against politicians. Now see, beautiful. Can I verify this? Yes, that the youth do not approve. Why are they not approving? Because there is a fact that substantiates it. If young men and women are campaigning against politicians and there is a newspaper, there are newspaper stories about it, then this is a fact. This can be verified. And this fact leads the author to conclude that the young people do not approve of the current lot of politicians. Beautiful. So here is a cause, here is an effect, and here I have a full set of cause-effect statement which are logically connected. There is no opinion here. It's a fact, because if the newspapers are full of stories about young men and women campaigning against politicians, that means that young men and women are not approving of the current lot of politicians. That is why they are not. That is why they are campaigning. So here is a fact, and here is a conclusion from that fact. So here's my cause-effect set, and there is a logic behind it. And that's why the first statement will be an inference. Okay, I hope you've understood the logic. And now let's quickly check. So, of course, IJF clearly is option 3, not 1, not 2, not 4, and not 5. So, option 3, which says IJF, now becomes your correct answer. Guys, I hope you've understood this question also. And I hope that you will be able to understand. So here, the first statement is a conclusion drawn by the author about what the youth do not approve of, based on the fact that newspapers carry stories about their campaigns. So newspapers have stories, therefore youth do not approve. So here it is. So therefore you have my inference. My second statement, of course, was now be very careful. The word because does denote reasoning. Okay, so you can identify inferences. Okay, now the second statement is a judgment, as it expresses a personal opinion. A clue in the second statement about it being a judgment is the phrase should not. The should not says, hey, you should not do it. Disapproval. Now the third was very clearly a fact because you could have verified it. That was very, very clear. So therefore the third statement was very clearly only 35% of the young people voted for in the elections was something that you could have verified. So of course that was data, and that therefore a fact very, very clearly. Alright guys, I hope you've been able to understand this concept, and I hope that you will be able to work on your questions on fact, inference, and judgment, and that you will do well in this concept. If you have any doubts, guys, of course, you know how to connect with me. You can find me on the Unacademy Plus Learners app by my handle, that is Abhilash_S, or you can find me by my name. I am everywhere. So Abhilasha Swaroop is my name. You can find me anywhere. If you wish to attend my special classes, I am on Unacademy Plus Learners app. Every day at 11 a.m. I have my special classes on different topics where you can come and learn and practice all of this. Alright, some announcements very, very quickly. So there is a lovely offer going on for Plus subscription for MBA aspirants. The best pick for CAT and OMEDS 21 for the Plus course. You have a 6-month offer at 16,400 for 6 months. For 12 months, and there is a 3-month free going on. You will be able to buy the subscription for 22,550. The 18-month subscription is available at 28,550. So if you're preparing for CAT 2022, then that's your best pick. And for CAT 22 and OMETS 23, the best pick will be the 24 months plus 3-month free course, where you will be able to buy the entire subscription for 32,800. All you have to do is go to the Unacademy Plus Learners app or the website and use AbhiCat Live to subscribe and also to get a 10% off on all of these courses. Also, here is our iconic subscription for the MBA aspirants, where you get live mentoring for MBA aspirants. So all the benefits of Plus: one-to-one live doubt solving, one-to-one live concept discussion, one-to-one live mentorship, and you can book your slots. So the iconic courses, guys, where you get live mentoring for yourself. A 6-month course is costing you 25,800. A 12-month course is costing you 39,500, and a 24-month course is costing you 59,999. So do make sure you're joining in the iconic subscription. Remember, AbhiCat Live is still your referral code, and you can use this to get a 10% off on top of all of this. So here you go. The MBA 2021 mock test marathon is here. This is the last push for your preparation. 2 full-length mock tests for CAT every week, 3 sectionals, 1 LRDI, 1 QA, 1 VRC per week, 2 full-length mock tests for OMETS per month, and a detailed video solutions of all mocks and sectional tests. Guys, there are lots and lots of things happening. These are available for both the Plus and Iconic subscriptions. All you got to do is use AbhiCat Live and enroll right away. The price for the Iconic, which is your best pick, 6 months, is at 4,300 per month. It will cost you 25,800. Also, guys, there is a big surprise that is awaiting you. Unacademy CAT Mega Combat is here for you. So this time we are hoping that you will get lucky and that you will be a part of the lucky draw, and 250 participants will be rewarded with big prizes. What are you waiting for? Just go to our app or our website and enroll for free. August 29, 12 p.m. That's the time. Remember, the code remains the same, AbhiCat Live. So simply use AbhiCat Live. You will get amazing prizes. There is a Fitbit, there are iPad minis, there are JBL speakers, and of course there are Amazon vouchers for you available. So hey, just go get this one done. Also, here are some of our new batches. 25th August, aim for CAT 2022 and OMETS. 28th August, aspire for CAT 2022 and NMAT 3.0. And 28th August, practice drill 3.0 for CAT 21. Here are some of our amazing CAT mentors who will be teaching you guys. Do make sure you're joining in. Remember, my referral code is AbhiCat Live, and you can use this for all our courses. Okay, get a 10% off on all your subscription. Guys, my Plus classes happen at 5:45 and 7 p.m. At 5:45 every day and at 7 p.m. every day. Do make sure you're coming in for the Plus classes, and also the special classes, the free classes happen at 11 a.m. every day. So if you want to do your CAT preparation for free, so then you just have to join me at 11 a.m. every day. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice day. Adios, my amigos. I hope this session on FIJs was helpful for you.